Hey y'all, I am here to talk today about something that is very intangible, something that I've been feeling most of my life, and that something is feeling creepy. Feeling like I don't really belong anywhere, like I'm just in between two worlds.
Fuck out my way when you see me. I'm rolling with the LGBT. I'm rolling with the LGBT.
My intent of making this video is to share my experience, to provide some catharsis to some of y'all who maybe have felt something similar, and also just to connect with y'all. It's not something that I talk about a lot, and so it'd be cool actually to hear about your experiences. I would love not to feel so alone in this myself. Basically, the feeling is with other female-bodied people who identify as women and who mistake me for a woman. I'm being treated as an insider even though I don't see myself on the inside. I see myself as an outsider. Imagine you're in your street clothes and you walk into this really important meeting of all the world leaders, let's say at the United Nations. And everybody's in these like business suits and like fancy clothes, and they're talking about top secret confidential information. People are just treating you like you belong at the table, and they're telling you all these secrets, and you're just sitting there like, my experience is I feel like this pit in the depths of my stomach, like, ooh, I don't belong here, this isn't right, or like, why are you telling me this? I never asked for this. It makes me blush or feel like adrenaline or like confused. The other person is usually at ease and just like calm and sharing openly, and meanwhile I'm feeling tense and just kind of paralyzed in shock of like, what? For example, I remember even being like 12 years old in middle school and just coloring in one of my classes. Me and a group of girls were sharing colored pencils. They were just chatting and opening up to me about their lives and like drama and boy stuff and whatever. Some of the stuff I was just like, what? You're telling me this right now? Just like sensitive personal information. It makes me feel creepy. I start to feel like, oh crap, I'm in the wrong place here. What if I get found out? And then it starts making me feel deceptive, like, ooh, if you found out, you would feel deceived, like I'm tricking you or like I'm sneaky or something. That starts giving me anxiety. So I've actually had the experience, unfortunately, of having my diary read without my consent. Back when I was younger, my older sister read it to this boy I was crushing on and just like told him all the shit I wrote about him. And the feelings that it provoked in me, it was not good. I felt vulnerable and violated, exposed, helpless, embarrassed. And so I imagine imposing those feelings on other people if they were to find out that I'm listening in but like am an outsider. I imagine people would feel angry or betrayed. I start feeling like I'm misbehaving. It just makes me super uncomfortable. I don't fit in with women. I'm not one, but especially before I came out as trans, non-binary, and before I started expressing myself in a way that feels comfortable to me, the world very much perceived me this way, and I felt kind of undercover, and it was just very uncomfortable. But then again, I don't really fit in with men. Even though I identify more with males, I enjoy doing societally deemed masculine activities. Specifically growing up, all my friends were guys. We would play sports and video games, and we would wrestle and like break the rules and go to places we weren't supposed to go and go exploring and, you know, just like get into trouble and stuff. Being in this body, males perceive me as an outsider, and so I'm kind of just floating in between. I had these vivid memories where I was just being one of the guys and like felt comfortable with myself and where I fit in with them, but it was very much pointed out to me how I wasn't in their in-group. We were playing video games one time, and one of my guy friends got so angry that I was beating him at this video game. He like freaked out and like smashed the controller onto the ground and was just visibly angry. How dare he get beat by a girl, you know? I grew up playing softball, and so as an adult I was on this co-ed just like for fun softball team, like a slow pitch team. A lot of the men make a lot of sexist comments and they don't expect me to perform well, and if I do, which I do, it's treated so much differently than when the men perform well. It's like, wow, who knew? Or like, oh, it's such a big deal. Or it's belittling comments like, oh, not bad for a girl. I don't really fit in anywhere. Recently I had this experience where I went to a networking event for women because frankly I haven't found one for non-binary folks. Once again, like not really fitting in. I go to this networking event, I started feeling super anxious, like imposter syndrome, like dude, I don't belong here. I started like mentally distancing myself from people, like this isn't helpful to me anyways. I'm not gonna get anything out of this. Everybody's dressed so formally here and I'm not, so like everybody's phony. Finding ways to make myself feel safer when my instinct is like, I don't belong here. Code red, help, survival mechanism. I don't fit in cleanly to one of the boxes like with the females, with the males. But at this networking event, when women were sharing their experiences in the workplace, I see them. Because I'm in the body that I'm in, society has these expectations that it puts on me, and it puts the same expectations on other female-bodied people, no matter how they identify. On one side, I'm like, I'm in the wrong spot, this is uncomfortable, people think I'm one of them, and I'm not, like, ugh. But then a piece of me is listening to their experiences. I share a lot of those similar experiences in the workplace, even presenting as a masked person, even after coming out as genderqueer at work where I used to work. I now work for myself. I heard people sharing their experiences of not being taken seriously, about speaking up in a meeting and being spoken over by a man, or one of their male colleagues or bosses takes their idea without giving them the credit for it, and then that person gets praised for it, or someone shares an idea in a meeting and nobody listens to it, and then a man repeats that same idea and everybody's like, oh, this is great. That shit's frustrating, and I've experienced that, and a part of me is like, dude, I see you, and I feel connected with those shared experiences, yet there's this invisible divide of like, we are not the same. But that's just my experience. I would love to hear about your experience. Have you ever felt out of place? Like you're kind of stuck in between? You don't fit cleanly into a category and you're just kind of floating, or feeling kind of weird, or feeling kind of creepy? I'd love to hear about your experience. Please leave a comment below and share with me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe. The year of 2019, I plan on putting out a new video each month, and we'll see what happens from there. Talk to you soon.